Hello?
There he is. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Is that
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
perfectly? Perfectly.
Okay.
How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I've had a day. How are you doing?
I feel like I'm better than you are currently based on
That's fine.
the status of your facial hair.
Oh no. I know. I'm aware. I am already jealous. I had to turn down my fan because now I can feel wind all of a sudden. It's not good. It's not good. I just want to before we get into the conversation, I just wanted to give me a F's in chat for my beard. I'd really appreciate it immensely. I'm pouring one out for my homie right now. I've had it for 5 years. Today has been a very, very long day. So
it's probably an emotional one. When I had to shave my beard and I had to shave it all off, it sucked. And you had a little bit more glorious of a beard you had going there. In fact, one of my first questions was going to be mentioning how glorious that beard was. And I happened to hop into your stream, and I was like, "Where did it go? Who is this?"
Did you see my Instagram post today about this show? I really shot myself in the foot here. I'm going to read it out loud for the class. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be on Stream Talk, hosted by Mighty Gamer Dad. We will be discussing how great my beard is, I assume. I don't know. I didn't ask. That was posted at 12:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got my beard, quote unquote, trim at 4 o'clock. So I really just kind of, screwed the pooch there.
Yes, it happens, man. It happens. Again, F's in chat for the beard. And if you've never grown a beard, or if you're incapable of growing a beard, because I know there's people out there that can't, both male and female. When you're growing a beard, like there is a lot of care and love that goes into managing that beard. And
yes,
when you get rid of it, especially at a state when you're not wanting it to, like, get rid of it, it's almost like you lost a child. I mean, not quite at that level, but like it's a little.
I don't know about that. I've met many children, and I like my beard more than those kids. Let's be honest. I just wasn't expecting it, and it happened, and and here we are, and we're dealing with it. Now I'm in the first. I'm in the first and second stages of grief. I forget how many there are because I can't count that high personally because I'm a streamer. So we're not very intelligent, and that's okay. But I will go through all the steps through this week. Very excited for my meetings for the rest of the week and my shoots because no one has ever seen me like this ever.
No, it
even
was
my fiance. Even my fiance has never seen me without a beard.
Oh wow!
As of today, so it's been every time I walked out of this office, she said, "I miss your beard already," and I said, "Oh, really?" That's so interesting because I had the same feeling.
You're like, I don't know if you miss it nearly as much as I do, but no. I'm glad that you have an emotional attachment to my beard as well.
Exactly. And I'm trying to kiss her. You know how you do sometimes with ladies. You can kiss them a little bit if they consent, of course. And she's like backing away a little bit because she's like, I'm not used to this right now. I don't like what's going on. I mean, at the end, as you said before, it's like takes a lot of care, a lot of pride, and like I usually go and get it trimmed down. I put product in it once in a while. I take pills to make sure it's healthy, and now it's gone. And now I look like a stepdad. And now I own a Firebird. And now I am drinking Busch Light exclusively. And I don't know what to do.
So is it stepdad instead of MayorWertz? It's now stepdaddy Wertz, or
it's I wouldn't go daddy. Daddy, why?
I'm trying to push it on you.
You're trying to push it on me because I hear that you love that terminology, and I'll be using that throughout the entire evening.
Yeah, it weirds me out because I kind of took on this dad persona. I didn't take it on, like I am a dad.
Wait, so do you have children, or this is a lie?
I have a child. Yes, I have a child.
Okay, cool. Because I'm a mayor. Yeah, for sure.
So he's like, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You can't lie on the internet. Everyone knows that.
No. So I'm a real dad, but I have an adult son at this point. But it weirds me out when the chat that I know they're adults call me daddy. there's a little bit of like, I'm not sure I like this. Not sure how I feel about this. I have mixed emotions. A part of me wants to embrace it and be like, hey, what's wrong with it? Another part's like, I feel gross. I probably need a shower. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'm kind of in that same realm, Daddy. I get it. I understand, but you have to embrace what your chat wants sometimes. And I will tell you that they have talked about me shaving my beard for a very long time, and today they learn quite often that they do in normally in my chats that when they get to pick what we do, their opinions aren't great. So
no,
it happens. It happens.
It's not always about you, chat. It's not always about you.
It's not always about you, because then I would lose my beard. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming on the show, MayorWertz. It's going to be.
Thank you for having me.
I think we're going to have a blast. I think
okay.
The chat should be well entertained. I know Captain Redbeard is beside himself because I know he's heard you call me Daddy already.
I know.
So
that was his goal. That was.
I know.
I don't want to part the kimono too much, but like I had some insider trading information up front, but I will check in with you later in the evening to make sure you're still enjoying yourself, because I feel like usually the first 15 minutes are good, the last 45 are bad. So we're gonna see how that happens.
Wes feels like that's all I wanted from this stream. He's like, I'm good now. Unfollow. We're good. My life is complete. Thank you guys. See you later.
Refund my sub now as a shout out for some weird reason.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a weird thing, right? Like that's.
Yeah.
I know that's like all over Twitter. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's Twitch's way of like trying to find the people that want to take advantage and just going to like ban you. I don't know. It's a weird thing to include in your refunds. Oh, I just wanted a shout out. Like I was just using this person. Thank you.
Exactly. It's so because you can also refund stuff as other, and that would be in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why does that? I don't know. It seems like such a dumb. Twitch is very good about doing dumb things. They're very good at their PR, and when I say they're very good, they're very bad at it, and I love it. I love it. All these missteps. They're so much fun to talk about.
So let's talk about you a little bit. What got you started? What got you interested in streaming? When did you start?
So I started about 3 years ago. I was in between a couple improv troupes, and I am a workaholic as a person. So I want to be able to min-max my time. I played a lot of video games. I talked a lot, and then I found Twitch. One of my friends sent it to me and was like, this is someone playing a video game online, and they just talk whatever they want to. I said, this is perfect. This is what I want to do, because this is what I'm good at, is talking and trying to play video games. Like it's a perfect realm, and I don't have to leave my house. So as an improviser, you have to leave. You have to leave your house. You have to go to practice. You have to go to stages. You have to go to coffee shops. Like it's all over the place. I could be in my own realm, in my bedroom, my office, wherever. I could be outside. I can put that record button or that go live button. That's my stage right there. It's very exciting. So yeah, about 3 years ago, this journey has started.
I don't. So literally, I turned off my Leorn board, and I'm still getting alerts. It's weird.
Hell yeah! I haven't. You know what? I installed that, and I haven't played with it yet. I'm very excited for it, though. It seems like it has so many possibilities. So
it does. There's a little bit of a weird communication right now between OBS, Twitch, and Leorn board. Like I disconnected it for a reason, because I'm like, I don't want to lose any audio, but every once in a while it's like, no, we're still gonna work regardless of it not being on. So yeah.
That sounds about right.
So it's not you guys' fault. It's not your fault.
You need to put Leorn board in a timeout, Daddy. That's what you need to be doing, I think.
Well, this Daddy thing is not gonna end anytime soon.
No.
And this is also recorded on podcast. It's going on YouTube. You guys have started a trend. I want to thank you all for this. I don't think this is ending anytime soon.
Yeah, but you're letting it happen.
That's true.
You're not banning the words. So I mean, technically, you are an accessory to the crime.
Right. I am a little bit. We talked about it earlier today, and they came up with a good idea, which we might actually do, is make an MG Daddy shirt. Some merch that Captain can wear around and feel comfortable in. Know that Daddy's there, right?
There we go. Yeah.
If I embrace it, it's no longer
flavor.
funny if I embrace it fully, right? Like, call me
Yeah.
daddy. Or
Exactly.
maybe the reverse psychology might not help. So,
yeah, it depends what therapist you're going to be
Sure.
honest. I feel like they really kind of wish-wash on that subject entirely.
So, let's talk about your improv. How long have you been doing improv?
I've been doing improv for on and off for about 5 years. I started taking classes at a local place, and then eventually got on their house team, which means they perform every week in this center. And then I started jumping around to different improv troupes. And with COVID and time, I haven't honestly done improv in a little while, and it's been aching in my bones, to be honest. But the Twitch space allows me to do improv in my own way, in my own games. So
so then we're gonna get to how you kind of tie in that improv and what you do on stream to kind of find yourself and your passion through that. But before we get there, I want to kind of touch the basis of who you are, how you got into streaming, some of your struggles.
How long you got? Because this is about to not be an hour podcast.
Well, we'll make
this is about to be a Mark Maron podcast real quick.
When would you say that you really started finding traction in your streams? Because obviously, anytime you start, I'm sure you didn't start out like just successful, right? I mean, you started out as the mayor of Twitch, like you didn't start out with like 100 followers.
That'd be amazing. It's a very rare occasion when you pull that off. I know some people that have done that off the rip, and I can, that's their story. It's not my story. I would say honestly, getting a foothold in this last year with the pandemic, and being home more, and being able to really assess what I'm doing as a person and how I am and how I can act and content wise, being work from home has changed everything, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you're able to have a little more time to implement into your content. And I'm assuming also kind of evaluate what you're doing, figure out what's working, what's not. At the same time.
Yeah. You're like A/B testing it and stuff like that. But also, like, I could go into a meeting at my job, and then my lunch break, I'm shooting promo videos, or I'm shooting YouTube videos, or I'm testing out some VR stuff. So it's like the ability to do that at the drop of a hat has really helped me understand what I need to be doing more, which is cool.
Yeah. So what did the early MayorWertz stream look like compared to now?
Well, let me tell you, he had a full beard. That was the first thing. He had a full beard. He was full of hope and promise and wanted to yes and everything. Now I'm a beaten down stepdad who drinks Busch Light, trying to get his Firebird up and talking to his ex-wife Linda. Early Mayor played a lot of FPS games. He played a lot of PUBG. He played a lot of Rainbow Six games. He didn't have a schedule. I would think that he was as engaging as I am now. I feel like that's always been my strong suit, is being able to play games and chat at the same time. I feel like it's the improv brain. It's called active listening. So you do a thing, but you're actively listening to other things that are happening around you, which that other thing would technically be chat. So it's a skill. It's a skill that I feel like streamers don't have all the time, and they should work on. And it's hard to teach, but like improv classes help that. I can always advocate for improv. But yeah, we did a lot of shooters. Didn't have a schedule. Didn't have a green screen. Like right now, obviously the green screen's down because now we're chatting. But yeah, it's just, I just did it randomly because I'm like, I'm going to play this game today. And like, maybe someone shows up. And then I started getting into a game called Dead by Daylight. Do you know what that game is?
I don't think that's a really popular game on Twitch at all. I think it's like the top, 15 or 20 in the games. It's been around for a few years.
No one likes it.
No one plays it.
I totally don't have 900 hours in this game. So I exclusively started playing Dead by Daylight, and like that started growing this community of individuals, and then I got bored of Dead by Daylight because I don't like playing video games all the time. I like talking, as we are in this podcast right now. So we started to evolve our craft, and I talked a lot about cooking, and everyone kept telling me, like, you know what, you keep talking about cooking, like, show up, like, show us what you could do. And then I started doing cooking shows, and then we started doing IRL stuff, and then we started doing weird horror indie games. Like, that's, showing more of my side, who I am. Don't get me wrong, I love shooters. I play shooters all the time, but they're not a stream game for me anymore.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but it's not what I want to be streaming, because I'm not focusing on the chat. I'm not making jokes. I'm just shooting. And there's a time and place for things like that, obviously.
Yeah. And it's not like there's anything wrong with first person shooters, but I agree with you.
Oh, there's so many things wrong with first person shooters. What are you talking about?
I agree with you.
Talking about?
I honestly don't like to play them. They frustrate the hell out of me. But first person shooters don't really allow you the opportunity, because you have to really stay focused the entire time. It's not like you can just pause the game, come over and be like, all right, let's talk with you.
That's right. Yeah. Let's see what's happening with chat right now.
Yeah.
Although I do feel like an outlier in that regard would be, your battle royales, because depending on where you land, you do have time for travel, which you could catch up with chat, but it's not the interaction that I'm looking for. Basically, it's streamers are selfish individuals. They want it to be all about themselves, and me included, of course, and I'm sure you as well, technically. Like, we wouldn't be on stream doing stream stuff if we weren't a little bit selfish, but I want people to talk to me, so I'm going to talk back to them, because that engages a loop of conversation. So a FPS doesn't allow me to have that conversational loop that I require.
Yeah. And for anyone that does play first-person shooters, it doesn't mean that you can't be successful playing first-person shooters, because there's obviously...
Don't worry about it. You can't. Don't worry. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Play the games that I played. Listen.
Unless you are top 3, don't worry about it. Drop all those games. Play some cool indie stuff. Walk outside. Do something.
But you really should try to expand your horizons a little bit and try new things. 100%. What is a lesson that you learned early on in streaming that really kind of helped you reach that level of success?
I would probably say the schedule. I feel like that's so a cliche in all of these kind of questions, but it's true. I mean, you're not going to watch a weekly show when you want to, or when that company, like, we'll just pull WandaVision in, because it's very hot topic. I have only seen one episode. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. But the point is, like, it comes out the same time every week. And yeah, you can watch it at your own time, but it drops that day, Thursdays at 11, let's just call it. And it's going to be there. So you want to watch it at that point. If they are randomly showing WandaVision episodes on like a Wednesday or like a Sunday at 2, and you don't inform people what you're doing, they're going to fall off, because it's a story. You're advancing your life. Like, what we do as streamers is technically a long form story in short episodes, at least in my opinion. So if you don't tell them what you're doing, you're not being consistent, they're going to miss out. So when you start missing out, you no longer want to be a participant in that community, in that television show. Like, it's when I stopped having cable, when I moved out many years ago, I stopped watching Walking Dead, because I didn't have cable, so I can't keep up with a weekly episode. So I no longer became interested with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you need to have a set schedule to make sure people know when they can hang out. And that's super important, in my opinion.
What would you recommend for someone, because I know there's a lot of streamers that struggle with finding consistency in their schedule, because whatever it's work, changing shifts, switch shifts, whatever it is that doesn't allow them to, stream on certain times, certain days. What would you recommend for those people to do?
Oh boy. Have a Discord that is up to date and you are constantly using to make sure that everyone understands if things happen. Everyone gets that your shift changes. We've all had jobs that have done that. You pick up a shift, you need some more money, stuff like that happens. It is what it is. Try to find a consistency in that pattern and try to always stream in those little pockets if you can. And then if you have to miss a day, it's not as bad. But yeah, I feel like that's your best option. It's not ideal, it's not optimal, but that's when you start engaging in other things, in your Discord, in your Twitter. Have a movie night once in a while in Discord, a legal movie night with not RIAA movies. You could stream Night of the Living Dead. That's what you have. There's no other way you can stream a different movie, of course. But yeah, just finding other ways to be engaging. When you're not there. When I'm not, I only stream 3 days a week, and I have a very limited schedule. I'm a very busy boy, as you know, because we tried to schedule a conversation
several times
for 4 days straight, and it just didn't work. But being involved and making sure everyone's on the same page and you interact definitely helps, in my opinion. It helps grow on the back end.
And having a consistent schedule is something that, and even going on that, you stream 3 days a week. And I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize, and something we talk about even on the morning shows and other stream talks. You don't need to stream 5, 6, 7 days a week to be successful.
No. I mean, think of a lot of like the top streamers. There's I watch a lot of talk shows on Twitch, and like some of them only stream like once every 2 weeks. And it's because they do so much work on their back end. They get good guests. They, worked really hard, and now they can cut their time. Like I used to stream 4 days a week and I was exhausted. I was not as funny as I was. I was not on top. I wasn't doing my best work. Cut one day, make sure I'm in other people's streams. We do a movie night once a week when I can. I know in chat I'm going to get shit for that, but here we are. I got stuff going on sometimes. But you want to make sure that you're, even if you can do 2 days a week, like try to find a way to make those times. It helps just cement that so well.
Because again, I talk with a lot of people that think that streaming full time means you're streaming full time, and that's not necessarily the case. Because you're streaming 3 days a week, and your average viewers are 20s, 30s. Like, it's you got. I don't know. I'm not sure how many followers you have. I know it was up there. I've talked to so many people this week.
I have at least 7. We'll just call it at least 7.
He's like, I have the minimum quota that is required to hit affiliate. We're good, right?
Correct. Yeah. I can get your money now. That's what I've always cared about.
I would say that he's kidding, but he's going to argue with me that he's not kidding. So how has your mindset? Excuse me, I keep choking on air today. How has your mindset changed from the start to now? Like, if we're going to go into breaking the restraints, let's talk about that. Because I think I'm going to piggyback off of that, and I'm going to retract my last question. We're going to talk about breaking the restraints.
You're going to change it up. I mean, it's your podcast.
It is.
If you want to talk about Vin Diesel, we can talk about Vin Diesel. If you want to talk about house plants, we can talk about house plants. Whatever. It's your podcast, buddy. You can do whatever you want.
So we're going to talk about, because when we talked together yesterday, which he had a glorious beard yesterday. So seeing him in this state hurts my soul a little bit.
I've been screaming all day today.
So you are perfectly fine. Anyone that has a beard and has lost a beard understands that. So we talked about breaking the restraints from streaming. But I kind of left it very vague on purpose with everyone, so that way we can kind of delve deeper into that together and explain what we were talking about when we talk about breaking the restraints. What were you meaning by that?
Well, per our conversation, we were talking about jumping out of the normal Twitch norm, which is video games. is a big thing. So like when I tell people that I do Twitch stuff, they always say like, what games are you playing? And then oftentimes I tell them I'm not playing games. I am cooking, and I am doing weird deep dives on the internet. Like, yeah, we'll play games once in a while and whatnot, because that's just fun. People like it and whatnot. But like a normal, when you think of Twitch as a whole, it's normally a gaming platform. But there's so many other facets to Twitch that I find way more engaging than watching someone play Warzone. Yeah. You got cooking, you got traveling outdoors, you got just chatting, which is a bonfire of problems, and I absolutely love it. There's people who do body paint. There's people who build houses. Like, I watch animal streams when I'm in between edits and rendering. Like, there's so much different stuff on here that people don't think about because they think that Twitch TV is for gamers only. Yeah. And I think that people need to be jumping out of that realm to see what other people are doing. It's I don't want to say that games aren't interesting, because I watch a lot of game streams. I watch a lot of horror stuff, a lot of VR stuff, all that stuff. I think it's great. But I think the interesting stuff is watching I'm not going to name any names, but there's an individual that I watch sometimes where he is literally just streaming out of his bathtub, and he gets hundreds, if not thousands of viewers. And it is the weirdest thing. And I am so engaged. Or another person I will name, Uncle Joe Show. He has a green screen, whole entire room. And he has like one of those mics that you put on for like, for like an old school like game show or whatever. Yeah. It's always peaked wrong, and it's always sounds not great, but it's so engaging. And he's doing DJ sets, and then he's like, guess what? We're gonna bring my friends in. We're all gonna hang out, and sometimes, you know, we'll go out. It's like we'll go out IRL. So there's so much possibility on this platform, and I feel like no one should ever feel restraint to a game that they're playing. As a person that played Dead by Daylight exclusively 4 days a week, you get burned out. You got to show your other side of things. I feel like people get to know you better when you show what you like. Like, I like cooking, so I'm going to show you a cooking show. Or I like IRL stuff. I love the town that I live in. So let's go out and let's go to a bar real quick. I want to show you this cool bar that I'm in, or I'm going to show you this cool food that I bought. Like, it's more engaging, in my opinion, than watching someone, you know, play a game. Yeah.
You know, and we talked. Wait, my other side's that's against my deal. That's my dude.
and I pay premium for that, Magnus. I pay premium. We're not allowed to talk about that on this website.
So we talked, you know, we talk a lot, and I know I say we, but I mean as a whole, a lot of the streamers
have talked one time. We have talked one time.
I'd say streamers as a whole, the community that I'm in, the people that I connect with. We always talk about, you know, going beyond just the games. It's not about the games. People are not there to watch you game. They're there for you. And
well, I disagree with that, but go ahead.
How so? Go ahead.
I disagree because some people just want to watch people game. There are several people that I will watch that are bigger streamers, yes, that are just good at a video game that I never want to buy, but I want to watch someone else play, that I find engaging. But you
like to
they play. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying you're talking about the people that are actually really, really the great players, like the people that actually know how to play the game, play it very well. But if like you're a mediocre, subpar gamer that, you know, like myself, no one's really going to watch me for the gaming. I mean, they're there for the game, but also me and my inability to play, but also the reactions and how they can interact with me. It's never just the game. Now, the pro players, I can see that, because a lot of times there's many great streamers that are many great players that are really, really good at the game, but are terrible personality wise. Yeah. Like, you will never get them to chat with you.
They don't have to be a good person.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Why? And you can't fault them on that. Like, if I could be quiet all the time, that'd be
That'd be hard. That'd be hard for you, right?
All I do is talk. This is literally all I do all the time is talk. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, just like, I mean, I can't blame them for doing that though.
Yeah,
if it works. They don't have to say anything.
Exactly.
Why not? So,
but not everyone is fortunate enough to be like a pro level gamer, and if you are, use it to your advantage. Of course, like definitely use it to your advantage. But if you don't have that, it's not your strong suit. You also need to fall back in other aspects of, personality, and make sure you're entertaining. They're not just there for the game at that point. So
correct.
That's why I was like, I want you to elaborate on yours, because I'm pretty sure that we're going to touch on the exact same ideologies. But for the most part, most of us are not going to have viewers coming in for the game. We might get new viewers that come in because of the game we're playing. Which is true. When I play Subnautica, I get people coming in because I'm playing Subnautica. But they're sticking around, they're staying around because of you. Because they can watch anybody play Subnautica. What's gonna keep you there watching Dead by Daylight, or what's gonna keep them there watching you cook, kind of thing? Like, you have to have a little more than just nothing. Just that.
You have to have a little bit of a hook. You have to have something that's gonna attract someone to keep them around. And I think that goes into planning and production. I'm a videographer by trade. I want to do video all the time. For those who don't know, whenever someone subs, gives bits, hosts, or raids, I show them a cavalcade of videos. Like it's America's Funniest Home Videos with Bob Saget, because that's what I think is funny. And it shows that I am putting time and effort about it, and I think that's important to keep people in. I think when we go into the rating aspect of this, like, that when you get rated, you're immediately going to drop off. I would say at least 40% in the first minute and a half, maybe. I can't tell time anymore. The pandemic has ruined my brain. It is what it is, but you have to have a hook right away. Like, it's just, and doing those videos for me has helped me significantly. With keeping people around, because they go, oh, this is really weird. I'm into this weird, but also they shun people away. Some people hate those videos so much, and that's fine. But I also don't want them there, because I think they're good, and I will stand by my work in that regard.
But to piggyback off of that, most people don't think about this. You're not targeting everyone, and you don't want to. You want to target your own audience. And you said it perfectly. If they don't like my video, I don't want them there anyways. They're not the right people. They're not my people. The people that enjoy me and my humor and my sense of humor, like, they don't enjoy the quality and the time that I put into this. If they don't appreciate that, they're not the ones I want sticking around. But at the same time, you have about 2 to 3 seconds to capture them from the moment that they come in.
The moment they watch that weird Sprite Twitch ad, like they're ready to go. They're about out the door. They're literally, their hands are on the door. It's already open, and they want to see one last thing. And like that's your hook. And I feel like my videos at least help with that quite a bit. It alleviate, because like, as a streamer too, and I used to do this all the time, is like, hey, welcome, I'm MayorWertz. I do comedy stuff, and I'm a streamer. Look at me go. It's so boring, and everyone does it. So it's like finding a weird thing and really doubling down on it until they like it in a weird, because it's like, well, that goes back to the comedy thing, where it's like,
one day you're gonna like this, damn it.
Exactly. Well, it's like you tell a joke and it's funny, and you tell a joke again, it's not as funny. You tell the same joke again, and it's definitely not funny, but you keep telling it 17 more times. And then at that 17th mark, it becomes funny again, because you keep pushing it. It's weird. Sometimes this works. And Greedyology is talking about rule of threes, but the rule of threes don't apply to all these videos, because I have so many of them, and I love doing them, and they're so exciting. I think everyone should do videos. I think everyone should have, even if it's just, not everyone can be a videographer. Not everyone can be as talented as me, obviously. But you can still do clips of what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen many people, I've even helped people edit videos of them playing video games and just pulling clips. It just helps give someone an idea of what's going on, because you never know when you're getting a raid or a host or a sub.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be prepared for that. And sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you don't know what to do. And there's been plenty of times where I've messed up on that. In streaming and cooking in general. Like, I've had my back to the camera. I've been out of frame giving my fiance some food. Like, it is what it is. But you got to be prepared for this. You got to showcase your stuff. And I feel like video is the best way to do it. We're already on video. Do a video. Like, it's so easy. You have a stream deck. Press the button. Just press the button. It's fine.
Press the GD button.
It's not hard. It's not hard. You could get Windows Media Movie Maker for free. Get DaVinci Resolve for free. It's a great program. Freaking Vice uses it. Do you guys understand what Vice is? It's a huge company. They use it. It's a free program.
Yep. There's many ways you can make, and we kind of touched on authenticity a little bit as well. And that's one of the main focal points of tonight, is finding a way to be authentic in what you do. Like,
yes,
I understand in the beginning you want to replicate your bigger streamers, your idols and people that you look up to in the streaming industry. And so a lot of people tend to try to replicate what other people are doing, but they also lose that authentic aspect of who they are. And a lot of what we're talking about is really about being authentic, finding your passions, finding what you're doing, and do what you love. Yeah. And no one does it better than, I think, MayorWertz right now. Like, I don't know if you could tell. I know he's about to. I
can't wait. I can't wait to have someone else on your podcast the next episode, and then you go, no one else is doing anything like this guy out here. I know this trick. I know this trick.
But obviously, if you've listened to him this entire time, he's obviously very passionate about what he does. He loves what he does, and no one does it like MayorWertz does MayorWertz. He's MayorWertz. You can try to take bits and pieces of it, but you're never going to be MayorWertz.
Yeah.
There's only one MayorWertz.
For good and bad, yes, I would agree with that.
You can try to get you can grow out the stepdad beard thing going on. He doesn't recommend it.
Don't grow this out. Be a better person. Register to vote. I don't know. What else do stepdads not do besides respect people? It's fine.
Yeah. So what would you say for someone that's looking to kind of get into, sorry, I'm kind of choking again on myself. What would you recommend?
Get some water. Do you have water available? I can't see you on the Discord call, so I guess I'm gonna pull up the stream right now. Can you drink water with me real quick, please?
We can do. I got a big ass jug.
Okay.
Big ass jug.
There you go.
We've been chatting for a while.
It's understandable.
So, someone that's trying to find their authenticity, which is oftentimes a really big struggle for a lot of people. I hear people struggle with this. I'm like, find your own path, try to find a way to be authentic. What is something you would recommend for people to do to try to find their own path in this?
I would recommend trying things. Like anything that you think is interesting, try it. That's the bottom line. I mean, I'm going to go back to improv a lot because it's very important in this, that when you do improv, you have to say, I can't cuss on this podcast, so I'm going to say F fear, but I can
bleep you out. We can.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cuss. Ready? Like... 3, 2, 1. Fuck fear. And you have to go out there and you have to just accept the consequences. You you don't have an idea when you go out there, but you're gonna try something. You're gonna, you gotta try things, and you want to talk about things that you're passionate about. Like I think it's very, like, I don't care about a lot of things. I care about me, my friends, my family, my fiance, the show Cheers, and the show Frasier. Like that's it. Like that's my realm. But if you are passionate about what you're talking about, I can listen to you talk about that for hours because you can feel that passion. You can feel that drive that person has about that subject. And I find that to be such a hard thing to have, especially in Twitch, because it's like all they want to talk about is video games. I'm like, well, tell me more about this video game that you're playing. And it's oftentimes, I'm going to use Warzone as the example, which, by the way, I do play. I'm not great at it, but I do play them. But I want to know more about you and why you're attached to it and why you pick the certain things that you do and why you do the certain things that you do. Like, I find that to be more engaging. And because of that, I'll probably stick around in your stream more because I want to hear more about that, because you're being genuine with yourself. Like, I'm not a good video game player. Like, I'm okay. I have a couple games that I play. Obviously, Dead by Daylight, I'm pretty good at. MayorWertz Capcom 3, I have several thousands hours on it when I was in college, and all I did was drink and play that game. Yeah. But I can't, it's just something that I did. Like, I'm passionate about cooking, even though I'm not great at it, but I think it's the most exciting and engaging thing that I want to talk about, and I want to tell you guys about it. And I think, that your chat likes what you do. There's going to be people who are going to straggle off. Like, when I stopped playing Dead by Daylight on my stream, many people dropped off. I had a huge drop off in my viewership, in my concurrent viewers, everything. I went down to like 5 viewers again for a very long time. Yeah. I was getting, 20, 25. I was in that good pocket right there. And I just like, I can't keep doing this. I want to do cooking shows. And they're just like, we don't like cooking. But you find new people to be passionate with. Yeah. But I won't bring up Cheers or Frasier because you have to know your audience as well. I want to talk about Cheers and Frasier all the time. No one in my chat really likes Cheers or Frasier. So I keep that to myself. And that is a life tip. You got to learn to read a room, folks. You got to learn to read a room.
So, something else I want to touch on, because we're getting close to the end. If you guys have questions, which we're going to start getting to some of the questions that you guys have in the chat here in a second, but something you touched on, you said when you stopped playing Dead by Daylight, your viewership dropped, and I know that is extremely horrifying for some streamers. Like, they're terrified to watch their numbers drop. It happened to me when I went from evenings to morning time. I expected it. I knew it was going to happen. I was like, listen, my viewership's going to drop when I do mostly morning streams. I'll keep my one evening stream at Stream Talk because, again, consistency that we talked about. We had a schedule. I knew it was there. I'm like, I can keep that where it's at. Because typically people are going to be streaming throughout the day into the evening. Usually 9 o'clock Eastern time is when the majority of people are going to be getting off stream. Not everyone, but the majority of the people. So I kept it around a time that I knew I'd be able to get some of these growing streamers. But dropping down, and when you start to lose viewers, it's scary, and I know that, guys. But as you can see, if you're doing something you're passionate about, the viewers will come back. You will attract the right audience. If you're burnt out from a game,
I wouldn't go that far. I get bullied often on my stream. I wouldn't, especially tonight. Stepdad Ron came out this evening, and he taught everyone how to fix the tire this evening and drink Coors Light. So
it is always scary, and it's definitely. I think everyone gets bullied on Twitch. No one bullies me more than Captain Redbeard, and I know you know who that is.
Yeah, I've never heard of him my whole entire life.
He is the meanest person I've ever met. I'm just kidding. Love you, Captain.
I will clip this myself. That's fine. That's your new alert.
So one of the questions in the chat is, do you prefer uwu or owo? I'm not sure if this is an inside joke or...
I prefer both. I don't know exactly what they mean, but I think it's like ooh. I'm not an anime person. Once again, I said I like Cheers and Frasier. Those are real people. But hey, I'm not yucking anyone's yum out there.
I think you already answered this as well. Did any of Mayor's family respond to your text?
They did. They kept sending me gifts of Kevin McAllister in Home Alone when he does the shaving. So you can imagine where I get my humor from is my own family, and they're also big bullies.
Do you have any long-term goals? This is coming from Westfall. Sorry, I didn't respond, say who the other questions were from, but do you have any long-term goals for Twitch?
My long-term goals is to keep doing this. I think I really enjoy what I do. I don't know. Like I guess long-term goals: become partner, become an ambassador of Twitch, take over Twitch, punch Jeff Bezos in the face. What else do I want to do? Long-term goals of Twitch. I guess do IRL more, but also fight Jeff Bezos. He's not part of Amazon. I can make these jokes. It's fine. Dear Daddy Bezos, please give me my check at the end of the month. I'll take it willingly. That's fine. But yes, I think more cooking streams, more IRL stuff, and just trying things, like, you know, trying different games and getting out of that realm. I really like talking to people. That's like what I feel like I'm good at. People would disagree with that, but I agree with myself. And I like talking more than I do like playing video games in general. So just talking. I do have a improv based game show that's going to be launching hopefully by the end of this month. Nice. Which I'm pretty excited about. So once again, transitioning more into more improv and off the cuff stuff is how I feel like this channel is going to continue to grow, in my opinion. So,
so if you could give any, sorry, trying to word this properly, and my brain's like,
do you need more water?
No, I'm good. I have problems with English. Sometimes I just can't get the words.
I'm an English minor, and I have the same way.
Words are hard, Captain, and it's been such a long week already. I know, I'm exhausting. I get it. I'm exhausting. We're so busy. Like, we were trying to, I was like, we'll figure this out. We'll get there at some point. But I was like back-to-back meetings yesterday. I took a nap for like an hour today. It was like the first nap I had. I know Captain's like, I have a nap like every day. I'm like 90. So
I'm like a retired person, just hanging out, doing naps. Wow. What's it like? What's it like to be so easygoing?
So I dropped this link in there. Make sure you guys are following MayorWertz. Again, his content is not what you're normally used to seeing on Twitch. And that is the point. That is the point. He has a very unique stream. It's very, very animated, very fun. And what I wanted to...
You were going to ask me another question. You said,
yes,
what
yes.
thing...
What is one tip that you want to give streamers to kind of, you know, and kind of end all of this? Like, what's your biggest tip you can give a streamer that is just getting into this, or maybe they're struggling a little bit, trying to find their way? Like, what would you say for them to do? What would you tell them to do? Like, listen.
Oh boy. Let's this is gonna start off mean, but it's gonna get better, I promise. First off, you're not funny, you're not interesting. Become Twitch, learn how it operates, learn the mannerisms, everything. You consume it, then you will become a better Twitch person. If you just come in thinking that you're going to be a good Twitch star, turns out, that's not really how that works unless you're a celebrity already, which I have a feeling if you're listening to me give you advice, you're not. So, just be humble about it.
Yeah.
Make sure your Discord is there. Make sure your schedule is there. Make sure you are communicating with people. Go in their chats. Engage with people. Hang out. Do things. Like, they're all people also with the same goals. Talk to them. Find people that are like you and do what you do and understand what you do. Obviously, the obvious pitfalls are, doing your follow for follow stuff, which I'm sure is around. I get stuff tagged on Facebook all the time with that stuff. Watch out.
I don't know what a follow for follow is. I don't think we've ever had this discussion before.
Gotcha. Well, I know you're lying because you're laughing right now. So, but all those kind of community things, you could get. I've done a couple of those. I've done the Facebook communities, the Twitch communities, and I've been in those Discords and whatnot. And you find a couple of people that you stick with out of those people, because they're all trying to we're like all a bunch of sixth graders at a dare dance, and we're all just trying to find someone to get along with. And that's just what it is. And those communities, sometimes they're free, sometimes they're paid. Just be very conscious about what they're doing on those kind of things. But my biggest tip is just take an improv class. please just take an improv class, because improv not only helps you with your real life and getting out of situations, but improv also helps you with your streaming. It's the improv is basis of a yes and mentality. So when you tell me something, I'm going to agree with what you're saying, and I am going to expound upon that. I'm going to add to your story. So when someone tells me, hey, I just had, I like pineapples. I'm like, hell yeah, you like pineapples. What's your favorite thing to do with pineapples? Like, you have to, improv just helps you with those situations. And I highly recommend finding an online improv class, because obviously they're not in person right now. Improv 101, it's not comedy based that you think it is, but it helps you deal with situations, which I feel like a lot of streamers freak out when they get trolls, or they freak out when someone's telling jokes at them or making fun of them and they can't handle it. Yeah. And improv lets you duck and weave, and, really, I love it. I mean, I'm such a big fan of it. I'm a white, almost bearded person with glasses. Of course I like improv. Let's be honest. But it's really, honestly, it's a very good tool, and not a lot of streamers think that they need to work on other skills besides being better at a game, which I disagree with entirely. You don't need to be good at the game. I'm not good at video games. I run into walls in VR. Who cares? What I should be good at is engaging your chat, being likable, which is that's a whole other thing. You may not be a likable person. You need to go see therapy, and you need to talk that out as well. But that's a whole nother, that's like 3 more podcasts to be in. But just understand who you are, take an improv class, be consistent, be likable, and talk to people. I think that's a good 5-step plan in that regard.
That's honestly great advice. And I think everyone should really take an improv class. I've never taken one, but it's something that is definitely going to be on my to-do list once things kind of open up. Chat, sign up for MayorWertz's improv classes, improv your life.
That's right. It's called improv through your life, through middle class America. Coming to you on Zoom only once a week, buddy.
So I got one more question, and before we get to that question, I don't know if anyone noticed that when he was talking about pineapples, he didn't respond with yes. And how do you like to eat your pineapples? He said, what do you like to do with your pineapples? Which really left a lot of things open to kind of explore there. And I was like, why that choice of wording? I instantly picked up on that. I was like, what do you like to do with your pineapples? Well, normally I like to eat my pineapples, but what do other people like to do? So that, again, that's a whole other podcast. What to do with pineapples? A discussion with MayorWertz.
Well, that's going back to the yes and thing, and kind of like everyone expects you to do the eat thing, because that's what you normally do with the pineapple, but like kind of opening that up a little bit. Yeah, and it's like, what do you like to do? Well, some people like to dress up the pineapple. Some people like to use it as a door stopper. Some like to use it as a lover. Some like to use it as a friend. There's so many things that you could do, and I think that's getting out of that bound.
So It was such a funny thing to listen. I was like, So we're gonna get to the last question. We're gonna wrap it up. And Westfall asks, what's your favorite moment in your streaming career so far?
Oh, jeepers. It's hard, because I feel like once a week I do something that I'm really, really proud of, and it's hard to always. I like improving myself. It's definitely not a meeting in Greediology, for one. I do see that in the chat right now. You know what? I honestly, at the end of the day, though, I do think the charity stuff that I do once in a while is really great. I helped a friend of mine, Control Alt Quinn, raise some money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We've done stuff for St. Jude's. I mean, like, I have a whole mouse pad for St. Jude's because we raised money for a scare-a-thon. Like, I do like doing the charity stuff. I think it makes me feel like I am making a difference, and my grandmother loves it. So she doesn't understand this at all. But all I have to say is that I am doing stuff for St. Jude's. And I took a bite out of a lemon, or I took a bite out of an onion. And she's like, well, you're doing it for the children. And I said, hell yeah, Grandma, hell yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm glad, dude. I love that, dude. Your chat is amazing. Like all the people coming from your chat, just listening to them talk and what they're saying.
Don't give them praise. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve this.
But I wanted to say thank you again for coming on the show and offering your insight into, you know, your journey and the uniqueness that it is you.
Yeah,
it's been
I appreciate that.
And we're gonna wrap it up here. So thank you guys. We're going to close out of the Discord. Head on over